Hi, I'm Crystal and our topic is addition and subtraction, where I will be focusing on year levels 1 and 2. Now over to Caitlin.
Hi, my name's Caitlin and I'll be focusing on year levels 3 and 4.
Hi, my name's Stephanie and I'll be focusing on levels 5 and 6.
Developing mathematical ideas is significant across the teaching curriculum, as the concept of numeration leads to the basis of various aspects of mathematics, hence the development of addition and subtraction. Students who have progressed into year levels 1 and 2 should have been exposed to and experienced the fundamentals of addition and subtraction in foundation level, where they are expected to have prior knowledge of counting and naming one-digit numbers, 0 in particular, as that provides the base of all numbers. Then move on to place value with two-digit numbers, where students connect number names, numerals, and quantities up to 10 and beyond. Then proceed to number understanding, where renaming and comparing is established. My focus within the group presentation is on students who are in year levels 1 and 2, in which they are expected to build on their understanding of numeration by emphasizing on the concepts of addition and subtraction. They are expected to apply number sense when counting in number sequences such as 2s, 5s, and 10s. Recognize, model, read, and write numbers to at least 100 in level 1 and 1000 in level 2. Students are also expected to learn how to solve simple addition and subtraction problems through a range of efficient mental and written strategies, such as using number lines, partitioning, and rearranging parts. Students who develop an understanding of numeration and subtraction have the appropriate knowledge to complete activities amongst the classroom. An activity that may be presented and appropriate for students in year levels 1 and 2 involves all students to interact and be involved. The materials needed are a range of small empty boxes displayed at the front of the classroom with random numbers ranging from 1 to 100 on the outside of the box, known as pretend post boxes, and a stack of cards with addition and subtraction problems that are given to students and are pretend letters that need to be posted into the right box. The aim of this activity is for children to solve the addition and subtraction equations with the use of popsicle sticks and counters, or any other mathematical resources that help students with counting. These are given to each student to demonstrate and visualize their understanding of their solution to the problem. Each number shown on the post boxes matches up as one of the answers to the equations on the cards. Once students have solved the problems, they then post the cards into the right box, showing they have developed number sense in relation to numeration. Misconceptions and errors students may face when dealing with addition and subtraction concepts are that students have alternative conception of multi-digit numbers and sees them as numbers independent of place value. For example, students may read the number 32 as 32 and count out 32 objects to demonstrate the value of the number, but when asked to write the number in expanded form, they may write 3 plus 2. Students may also read numbers from right to left, misusing the appropriate rule that numbers are read from left to right. For example, students read 81 as 18, as the teen numbers often cause this difficulty. This then leads to continuous errors and misconceptions amongst their learning abilities for solving addition and subtraction problems. The most effective primary school teachers in terms of mathematics have deep mathematical understanding and are able to apply their knowledge through 5 elements that demonstrate the importance each has in a student's learning. Procedural knowledge and conceptual knowledge is clearly stated throughout the lesson. One of the most important methods in mathematics is finding the answer to a problem and being able to explain to students the process and key concepts. However, there also needs to be flexibility in teaching methods in order to cater for a large range of abilities. Making mathematical connections is about bringing together different ideas to create new ideas and linking in the real-life situations and problems as the lessons is created into a pretend post office, where students post their addition and subtraction cards, known as letters, into the appropriate post box. Overall, this is a great lesson as students are able to enjoy as well as learn and gain knowledge that they can further develop in the coming years. I will now be passing over to Caitlin, who will be focusing on year levels 3.
The learning intention of this lesson is to use a variety of strategies such as diagrams, MAB, and logical estimations to solve 2- and 3-digit addition and whole number subtraction problems. They will be doing this through the form of a classroom shop. In order to successfully complete this lesson, students will be able to use a variety of strategies to work out basic estimations of calculations in their shop. The materials required for this lesson will include MAB, a till if wanted, paper, pens, calculator in order to check their answers, whiteboard marker, and the resources such as food products or containers that they have brought from home. The key ideas I will be focusing on in this lesson include addition, subtraction, the renaming process, and basic algorithm. The misconceptions that students may have when doing these calculations is not understanding that the renaming process and how it works. They may not understand that 110 is the same as 10 units, so using MAB blocks will help to reinforce this. They may also have a poor understanding of algorithm, and this may also be a misconception. To start this, the engagement activity that I'll be using is asking the students what their favourite foods are. I'll write a list on the board and then put a price down next to them, ensuring that they are in both 2- and 3-digit whole numbers of how much they think the food will be worth. There will be a variety of prices, so things that are simple such as $10 and $20, and then also like $352 and things like that. This will help to have diversity of students who are at a variety of levels. So once the customer has decided what they want from the store, they will go up to the cashier, which will be the students. The students can either work in groups of 2 or they can be larger groups for those that struggle with these sort of processes. This also adds diversity to my lesson. They will go to the counter and the cashier will tell them how much they think their products are worth by doing a basic estimation. They will then calculate this by showing the MAB, what each place value is worth. They will then subtract the difference, so the amount that the customer gives them, they'll then take away the amount that their products are worth and give them the correct change. They'll write down all of these calculations on paper, which will then be given to the teacher as a resource to assess them. This will be in the form of a summative assessment. At the end of the lesson, the students will go through a reflective stage where they'll look at what went well and what they liked about the lesson. This was also another form of summative assessment. The assumed prior understandings are pretty much that of place values, so they understand that there's ones, tens, hundreds, and which order they come in. They'll also have basic counting numeration skills, so know that 1 comes before 2 and things like that. They'll also be able to use quite a few different strategies such as like doubles or knowing like number facts like 6 and 4 is 10 and so is 7 and 3. The OSFALs that it touches on is number and place value, both level 3 and 4. So they're able to recognise, model and represent and order numbers to at least 10,000. They're also able to recognise and explain connections between addition and subtraction. That was in level 3, and in level 4 they're able to apply place value to partition, rearrange and regroup numbers to at least tens of thousands. It also touches on money and financial mathematics, so pretty much knowing about money values and able to do transactions. This is really good for mathematical connections, so something they're going to face in real life. It also links to theory in terms of mathematical knowledge for teaching. So through procedural knowledge, students are able to correctly get the answer. They're also able to, there's quite a bit of flexibility in this lesson because not only they can either use 2-digit prices or they can use 3-digit prices. However, because it's still whole numbers, so it makes it a little bit more easier, and they can also work in groups, which is also another diverse thing. We've touched on student thinking as well through looking at the misconceptions and things that they may struggle with. And pretty much the reason why I chose to do this lesson was because it's a really hands-on activity, and I think that the use of like a strategy board is really helpful because if they're stuck, they can look at all the things they can do to help get the answer. And also because it has quite a bit of assessment in there, I'm able to see if the students actually understood the process, because obviously they'd both have a turn being the cashier and the customer as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Addition and subtraction are two of the most vital aspects of the mathematical curriculum. It is vital that we show students from an early age different strategies and different situations so they can use the two mathematical operations, as ultimately they lead on to multiplication and division. Students in grade 5 and 6 should have a vast understanding of addition and subtraction. It is believed that they should understand number patterns, particularly the ones that are seen in times tables. As Caitlin mentioned, students should understand place value of numbers up to 10,000, applying place value and partition, and also being able to understand the connection between the two operations. In grade 6, students are introduced to integers. Integers are numbers with no fractional and decimal part, and they also include negative numbers. One of the reasons I've chosen to do integers is because there is not a lot about addition and subtraction in the later years of primary education that's mentioned in Oswald's, as they have made the mathematical connections between the four operations. One of the level 6 content descriptors is to investigate everyday situations that use integers and locate and represent them on a number line. Students are exposed to negative numbers before they are even aware in everyday life. For example, on thermometers and on their iPods when the music is counting backwards, it's a negative number. Although the negative integers are seen in everyday life, students do not pay particular attention as they do not have an understanding. Elaborating on that, it's extremely important for students to have an understanding of how to use addition and subtraction operations with negative numbers as it goes on through the later years of high school also. The activity I've chosen to do involves addition and subtraction of integers with both positive and negative numbers. What is needed is a basket, balloons and some weights, and providing students with a number. And during the activity they will be asked to go where they believe that they are on the number line. First, I would start off with adding and subtracting positive numbers. When you add balloons, this is creating positive value. And when you take away balloons, you are subtracting positive value. When showing students addition and subtracting negative integers, you would do the following. When you add weights, that means you are adding negative value. And when you take away weights, you are subtracting negative value as the basket gets pulled upwards. It is vital to explain this activity correctly as it can become quite confusing. I specifically chose this activity as students are not introduced to negative integers before grade 6s. So one of the learning outcomes is not only to understand addition and subtraction of integers, but also for students to understand their place value and that there are numbers beyond 0 and before. They are yet to establish that this is part of their everyday life, so now they will become more aware of whereabouts it is. Providing an activity where students can see what is occurring and the changes will provide them with a deeper understanding of the different types of integers. Some misconceptions that students could have about negative integers are that they are no numbers before 0. This is because of the fact that this is really the first time, as I've explained, that they are introduced to negative numbers. And they may also think that 5 has the same value as -5.
Thank you so much for watching our video. We hope that you enjoyed it and you have some resources that you can use in the classroom. The reason that we chose to base these activities was that it used kinesthetic ability and it also provided a hands-on approach for all students.
We also touched on lots of assessment in our activities, both in terms of formative, so using reflections, and also it was really student-directed learning. We also had summative assessment as well by taking their work and seeing where they were up to at a certain point and really looking into their understanding of the topic.
The lessons that we all chose catered for a range of different abilities as we used a variety of different materials, and we also provided extensions for those who found the lessons too easy. Thank you for watching our video. We hope you gained some information.
Knowledge.